Something else I want to talk about here too is because last night we were talking, and Jacob was in the comments talking about Nick Cage. So I read
Yeah.
this today. Nick Cage actually is playing Dracula. This is happening. It's actually in the can. They got done shooting in October. It's coming out when?
It's like
April
April.
14th. April 14th. Yep, it's coming out. So the fact that it's already in the can, it's done. Here's a little bit about it right here. But I was reading about this and I was like, this could be really good. I love Nick Cage.
The picture is ridiculous. It appears to be taking place in the present day and not in Victorian England. As for the title role, according to Deadline, Nicholas Hoult will star as Renfield, with Nicolas Cage co-starring as Dracula.
Yeah. So he's not the lead, but here's a little bit more about the origins of this.
In the original 1897 novel, Renfield was a patient of the asylum adjacent to Dracula's new home. He became the Count's loyal servant and ate insects to feed his bloodlust, as Dracula had not made him a full vampire yet. In certain renderings of the story, he was the original real estate agent who negotiated Dracula's purchase of his sprawling English estate.
Yeah, so Nick Cage will be Dracula, a supporting role. It sounds like next to Nicholas Hoult, who will be playing Renfield, who's really he's like his assistant. He's like learning to be a vampire, not quite there, and it sounds like a great combination. I love Nicholas. I think he was great as the Beast. I think he's done some great character work, and I think he'll be perfect for this. Them together could be a lot of fun. We'll see. You hear about this, Jacob? What do you think? Do you think this is a great combination? Are you happy Nick Cage will be Dracula?
This is honestly news to me, like brand new news to me. And I love horror. I love Dracula, and I absolutely love Nick Cage. Anything with Nick Cage, you can't go wrong. Even if it goes wrong, you still can't go wrong. I think it's great, and the fact that he's not the main point of view for the movie, it's all about Renfield. So I love that he is the iconic figure while also being kind of in the background. I think that's really neat. And it's been great, especially because I feel like Nick Cage has had a bit of a comeback lately. There's been some really cool movies with him that I've really enjoyed, mainly because there are a lot of trashy films out there, and that's just my forte. I absolutely love just a good bad time. I love it. So I think you couldn't go wrong. And I mean, I just want to know I'm really excited to see how he's going to play this character. Like, how is he going to do this? Because that's the exciting part to me. Like, are we going to get Nick Cage as Dracula, or are we going to get Dracula as Nick Cage? Like, how will this play out? I'm really excited to see.
I'm not a good Nick Cage impressionist, but I can imagine in my head if he plays like Nick Cage playing Dracula. But I don't know. There's no trailer out. There's nothing like that yet. Probably will be coming soon, I'd imagine.
Mm-hmm.
It's not that far away. But I think it's a great combination. I'm excited about it. I love Nick Cage, and he does a lot of movies like we were talking about last night. It seems like he's always working. And there have been the rumors about how, he has this crazy kind of expenses. He was always buying dinosaur bones and stuff like that. Hence why he needs
I think
to
it's
keep
all
working.
made up. I think he just loves to act.
I think he does too. I think he's just like, let's do it. I can't do Nick Cage. Sabrina, what do you think when you hear about this? Think Nick Cage would be a good Dracula?
I agree with Jacob wholeheartedly. I think he's amazing. I love to watch him. I think he's funny. He's serious. He can do it all. And his body movement is always great. His like line delivery. I love him. I love him to death. And he said, I read an article that about this Dracula, and he said that he was going to focus a lot on movement and the voice of Dracula. And he had mentioned that movie Ringu, not Ring, the one where that ring came from, the Japanese version of it.
Yeah.
The way that the girl moved, like coming out of the well, like all creepy and fucked up and shit. So I think that he's gonna focus on some like weird body movement for this character and the voice, and he wants it to be different than any other Dracula that has been portrayed before. As we know, there has been many. Although he did also say that he watched a lot of Frank Langella's Dracula as well to prepare. So I'm really excited to see what he does. And the movie's actually, it's a comedy. So it's like that, I don't know, like Shaun of the Dead, or you know what I mean,
Right.
like some like that kind of a feel to it. So I feel like he'll have, you know, a lot of room to play with the balance between horror and comedy. I think it's gonna be great.
Oh yeah, the simple fact that it's Nick Cage, you know you're gonna get something completely different. And
I also
Oh
really
yeah,
like that it's
yeah,
set in present day. I think
that's
I
that's
know.
cool.
really fucking
Yeah,
cool.
That makes it very
really
interesting,
cool.
and too, and he's not going to be Gary Oldman playing it, of
No,
course.
one of my personal
But
favorites.
yeah, Gary's a
Clearly.
sweetheart. He's such a great guy. He's such a great guy. I worked with him on Mank, but he's
Nice.
such a good guy. And I love his performance in there. But like I said, the Nick Cage thing is just it's a good a wild card. You never know if he's gonna play it like Nick Cage from the '90s, or like he has been diving into some character stuff these days, like trying to really push forward. And I think that's a good thing because at his career now, he's got to push. I want to see him nominated for an Oscar. I want to see it. I want to see Nick Cage up
It's
there.
time.
He
I think it's
he
possible.
he won an Oscar.
What
Yeah,
do you
but
win
it's
an
been a
Oscar
while.
for?
It's time again.
Yeah,
The Rock.
It's been a while.
Yeah, it's
yeah.
been a
Oh, The
while.
Rock. Well, I'm
Yeah.
saying he's got to get back in there. He's got to get back in there. He needs an opportunity, just like Brendan Fraser's getting an opportunity right
That's
now
right.
with
Well,
The Whale.
who doesn't
Maybe
love
he'll
Brendan
do it.
Fraser?
Maybe
I
he'll
just
do
dropped
a
my
movie during
kombucha hole.
Aronofsky right now. Maybe that'll happen, and they'll have some fun. That it'll be an opportunity for him to actually stretch his wings some more. I think that'd be great.
I'm very much looking forward to this.
I'm really excited. But yeah, so we'll see what happens with this. Again, it's some Nick Cage news. I also want to ask you, Jacob, we talked about this very briefly in the chat yesterday, but my question is Netflix. You have a DVD package still?
I still have a DVD pack. Yeah, I can.
It still
Not only do
exists?
I stream, but I still get DVDs. I actually have the 2 DVD deal. Originally, I got grandfathered in at like $15.99. I think I'm still paying that. And I feel like most people just to stream are paying $15 now, but I still get my DVDs,
Oh,
so I
yeah.
haven't changed it because occasionally what Netflix doesn't offer on their streaming site, people forget they still have a DVD service, so you can still find movies that you can't stream, but you can get the DVDs and Blu-rays.
I mean,
So
I had no idea. I felt like that was long gone, but that makes sense because they can't have everything up there. Now, you find that there's actually some fun stuff on there that you don't find streaming anywhere, like some kind of like, because I know you love schlock.
I do love my schlock, and most of my schlock I get through if I can't find rare copies around that I buy through Amazon or through eBay. I will find them on Netflix. Occasionally, Netflix will offer them up. I've been able to find a few cool foreign films too that are also hard to find that they're not streaming on Netflix, but you can find some really good Korean movies and Japanese movies that are tons of DVDs that they have out there. Now, I do know that with their new changes coming up, they may be getting rid of that soon, which would be unfortunate because there are people like me who do still get the DVDs. It's been a while since I've gotten one because I've streamed so much content lately. But I did receive an email from them recently. They're apparently sending me a new DVD, I think just to remind me like, hey, you still got a queue going on over
You
here.
still have this?
Yeah, so
Oh,
I'm getting
I
something
had
in the
no
mail. I'm
idea.
excited about it.
I had
Yeah.
no idea it still existed. I thought it was long gone, especially with how it's changed over the years. Like I haven't had a DVD package in a while, but that's awesome that they still have stuff on that you can't find.
Yeah,
It
I
makes
took
it
advantage.
much more appealing.
I took advantage of that during the pandemic. It was really helpful because during the pandemic there was a lot of stuff streaming, but then all the good stuff they always take it away. So like I prefer to own my movies, and if I can't own them, then I try to find places like Netflix when I can get DVDs from, because sometimes when you're in the mood for a movie, half the time the streaming services get rid of them. Like don't ever expect to watch any Friday the 13th movie on a Friday the 13th. You'll never find it unless you own
Which
it
is insane.
or rent the DVD from Netflix.
They make it that way though on purpose. I feel like they jack up their prices to all these different streaming companies and make it like almost impossible for them to license it on those days. And that's
Well,
why people just don't do it.
joke's on them. I own the entire franchise collection, so I'm solid. And my birthday this year is going to be phenomenal because it's on a Friday the 13th. I'm really excited.
Nice.
Nice.
Yeah.
Nice.